For today's video, we have a team update, and as of the 11th of February, so another 5 or so weeks to go. So getting closer and closer, and the preseason games aren't too far away, I think. So I'll go over my team. The goal for this team was 13 keepers and keep the big dogs in that are really hard to trade in. Obviously there's some in the midfield that I'm missing, but I'll go over that shortly. But yeah, this defensive structure, we'll get straight into the defense. And as you can see with defense, I have 5 premiums. That is not ideal. The only thing is, there might be other players pop up. Obviously I'm going to have to miss one of Luke Ryan or Whitfield, and that's not even including other players that can pop into the top echelon of defenders. But I think there's a whole lot of defenders that'll be around the mark this year, so hopefully don't lose out too much if there's other better defenders that come up. But just for now, we'll run with this. Lloyd, very happy with the Lloyd pick. Might drop off a little bit, might lose some kickouts, but we'll see over the preseason, see what happens. But they seem to love him down there in defence and under John Longmire, so I don't assume anything changes there. Laird played midfield again today at training. He's a lock for the midfield. I think he's probably almost my first picked player for Supercoach 2021. I really recommend starting Laird, and just enjoy the points in the midfield from him. Showed fantastic capabilities in the midfield. Next I have Tom Stewart. So this is my Lockie Whitfield replacement. And durable, sort of durable. Had a groin injury and a collarbone injury, I think, last year. Groin in the preseason, so maybe, not sure you can say durable. But clearly capable of playing 22 games. So hopefully it's all good with Tom Stewart. Reasonable price, maybe a bit underpriced because he was knocked out, so he had a really low score that brought down his average last year. But I like the Tom Stewart pick. Maybe because he played more time on ground, as did a lot of defenders last year, maybe he drops off slightly a bit. We don't know, but I think it's a reasonable price and has the early buy, which is great because not many players will have that buy, I think, that are relevant. Now D4 I have Jaden Short, so one of the best and fairest this year. I think seen a few people in Discord pick Jaden Short, mainly Eno, that's his favourite player that I do the podcast with. So I'm thinking with Short, I'm not sure how much the rules, it might be like negligible, how much the rules benefit some defenders, but with a new man on the mark rule where they have to stand still, they can't move sideways, this might open up for players with long kicks, at halfback for example, where they can be more damaging and maybe they want the ball more in their hands, I'm not sure. So Short's pretty much taken over from Bash Hooley in that halfback role, and he led the competition in metres gained, so that's always a good sign. Lots of effective long kicks, so helps keep his scoring nice and healthy. So for now I have Jaden Short, probably in the 6th to 12th range of defenders, but if I want a team of 13 keepers, I feel like he's the most optimal, the one I like the most at this point as the 13th keeper, if that makes sense. So, and then we have Luke Mcdonald. Not much has changed with Luke Mcdonald. Apparently Zeebel's still playing at halfback. Haven't heard great things. Apparently he has good skills, but has a career average of 50-something% kicking efficiency. But he did play inside midfield, so we'll see how Zeebel goes, if that affects Mcdonald at all. But yeah, I like Luke Mcdonald a lot. I think he'll be one of the best defenders in the league. And then rookies, I think we'll get Gould, and who knows who else we get. Really have no idea, but we'll see. So the midfield, Neil, do you have to start Neil? I actually don't think you do. He scored good against tough opponents and easy opponents, so it's a bit hard. I was looking at his fixture, and even though his last year, his first half of the year was much better than his second half. He still scored like 170 on the Dogs, so I'm not sure fixture matters too much with Lockie Neal. It's hard to find a reason. I'm not sure Ryan Clark plays for the Swans in round 1. I don't know if he's best 22, but he did tag Neal in round 17 last year, so I wouldn't want a repeat of that. But he's a captain option, and I don't really want to leave it to timing to bring Neal in, to be honest. And I know people will get him cheaper. But yeah, more than happy to start Neal, pay up for him. Jake Steele, I've spoken about a fair bit on this channel. Big fan of Jake Steele, has all the DNA of a Supercoach star. And yeah, huge work ethic. There's not much to say. I've said enough on him the last few days, or last few videos on him, but big fan of Jack Steele. I think he's on a slightly modified program, so just he had a knee clean out, I think, in the last year after the season. So just keep a close eye on that, but I think he's fine. Had a really good time trial finish. I think he's PB, so that's great news. Now we have Patrick Crips, and I'm very iffy on Patrick Crips this year. I've toyed between. I've sort of preferred Walsh slightly to Crips because it feels like Walsh is a bit more durable, but still early. I think at his price, even if he averages lower hundreds, I actually don't think that's the worst thing in the world, and you can always flip him during the buys. Some people have different opinions, a much higher opinion of Crips than I do in terms of Supercoach. That's fine. But yeah, we'll keep Crips there for now. I see low downside, and I'm actually thinking if he's a decent price in the buys, I might flip him, to be honest, but that's a long way away. Worry about that another time. And then we have Matt Rao, just started contact training again, see how he goes. A little bit nervous on Matt Rao, but I think we really need to see the preseason game and how he feels. And then the rookies, very shallow in the rookies, obviously heavy in defence. This is assuming we don't get any defender rookies. But yeah, I think McRae will play. Cockatoo, I think, will play. It seems RCD maybe. I don't know about these. I think this Sydney bloke will play. Golden, I think, up forward. And then Will Phillips is actually probably not as much of a lock as he was a few weeks ago. I was training on the B team in the at the North's training, so not a great sign, and playing half forward there. So I'm not sure he fits into that midfield immediately, but just monitor Will Phillips. But if he plays, I think you still pick him. And then the rucks, probably just skip this. Nothing really to say here. Another two captain options. And then the forward line, Dunkley and Marshall, that's not going to change at all. So you already know that these are my my F1 and F2. And then again, light in the forward line rookies. It seems like the forward rookies are where most of the rookies are this year, for the time being. Still have guys like Danaher and Zeeble, if you want to pick them. Probably, I'm not sure who I prefer, maybe Danaher. I just don't trust Zeeble with what role he gets, or even if he's best 22, but that's another story. He's captain, so maybe get a better read on that into the season, but I think Impey's training at halfback and looking really good, so I think Impey's a good selection this year. Cahill, I believe, I think he was a small forward, but now he's training at halfback with McKenna and Sard leaving the Dons, so keep an eye on Cahill, see if he can score in the pre-season, but hopefully he's a rookie for us. Eli Smith, heard good things about him, but it's going to be tough to crack that Brisbane side. James Rowe, seems to be a few good signs on James Rowe, so I think we'll get him. Harry Jones maybe plays, and this Jacob, I'm not sure. I think he might get a game for Hawthorn, but we'll see. Maybe an off chance. And what's interesting is this Josh Tracy, I believe his name is, he might actually be a rookie for us, as in not a loophole, because I think Taberner's just gone down, so that might open up Tracy's spot. And I think he's also competing with Lloyd Meek, I think his name is, for a forward spot at Freo. And I think it seems like Tracy has the highest ceiling, maybe. So maybe they go with him. It's still all a bit up in the air, but that would be interesting. We might have to go back to Combin as a loophole and put Tracy in the forward line, but Combin would have to pay up for. So I think Combin is a long-term injury, but we'll see. So that's the team for now. It hasn't changed a whole lot. I think we've added Crips and Shaw and Stewart, and pretty much everything else has stayed the same. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. If something goes wrong with the rookies, we just get none for whatever reason, I think Jaden Short will become Millerer. I'm not big on Millerer, but for 300k he's definitely upside. And yeah, what else are we going to do if there's no rookies? So Short will go to Millerer. That would also free up some defender spots for premiums later on. And then we'll grab Danaher, maybe upgrade another rookie somewhere. So hopefully bulk up the rookies there. We'll see how we go, but yeah. Thanks for watching, and see you guys soon.